Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans this evening with One Celtic Fans View with myself and Baz this evening. Is Celtic playing a waiting game when it comes to transfers? Turn that down, I don't know if you hear myself. There has been a bit of breaking news when it comes to Celtic, a defender, 23-year-old defender that we are trying to get in. He has spoken to in the media in Japan, it looks like, saying that he feels like his soccer career is finally beginning, and in order for him to take it forward, he needs to work harder and have higher aspirations. In the future, he would like to be in the World Cup squad. He definitely wants to make the Japanese national team, and he wants to be playing overseas. Well, Celtic better not tell him, and he better not speak to Kyogo Furuhashi, Ryo Hatate and Daisen Maeda, because even though they have been in fantastic form and played in the top level Champions League, they've never really cemented places in their national team. So that is a bit of a worry when it comes to us signing this defender from Japan. Tell me your thoughts in the comments on that. He says he wants to make the national team. Yeah, it's interesting. It's always the same. We'll wait for players to leave before we'll sign anyone, and we'll announce anyone, just like Casey said yesterday. We'll wait till players leave first. Yeah, it's looking like that's the case, Lanky. I mean, Celtic will be working in the background for the players that were in the thumbnail. Obviously, Steve Welsh and Gustav Lagerbielke, Kwon, who was at Hibs for a couple of years, Louis Palmer, and then there's a situation to see if Melbourne City are going to make an offer for Marco Tilio. So I think that's all stuff that Celtic will be trying to work out this week also. And because let's face it, if Marco doesn't need to come back to pre-season training, if they can get some deals done for these players, it shifts them off the wage bill, and it lets Brendan Rodgers know exactly where he's at with the squad and what he needs to bring in. He already knew that he needs to bring in 3 or 4 players. I'm just reading it. It sounds like a project. Yeah, it does. It sounds like a project, that player, doesn't it? Definitely keep on top of transfer kitty before we spend a penny. Sell players that's not cutting it or want away. I'd give Tilio a chance, says Scotland. And I think we gave him a chance, and he wasn't as good as Jota or Daisen Maeda. Now he's coming straight back to Celtic, and excuse me, he's going to face the same situation. Nothing will have changed the 2 years that he has been away from Celtic. He's coming back, and he's still got Jota on the wing, potentially after his injury. Well, he will have, and he's still got Daisen Maeda on the other side. So I can't see how Marco Tilio can be better than the other ones that we've been linked with already. And is he prepared to come back and just be a squad number, a Lewis Palmer type figure that comes on in the second half? And I think that was one of the reasons that he wanted away from Celtic, is because of the situation where he wasn't first choice, he wasn't getting picked, and he wanted to go and play football. So we'll have to see what happens with that one. But anyway, it is early days. It is early days in the transfer window. The lack of talk and silence on another striker is giving Michel the fear. We're not even being linked with a striker. Is that fucking rain on the window? What the fuck? We're not going to get a storm, are we? Shit. There is talk of the boy Evans. Don't know, was it West Ham that he's at? Evan Ferguson, that was his name, wasn't it? There is talk still about him, but they're saying that might not happen to the end of the transfer window. Is that really the way that we're going to go? Have we went from the highs of it's lovely and clear outside, but there's one big dirty cloud over the top of us. Anyway, that's fine. Getting a striker that can play on the wings like Dyson. Well, we're already getting in a winger that can play both wings and through the middle. So it'll be interesting to see. They were banging on about Evan Ferguson on the Daily Record phone-in. So it must be true. Who's our scout, says Jim McClarty. It's not so much about the scouts, it's about the football transfer doctor that we brought in. And Celtic made a lot of, well, they didn't really, they kind of tried to sneak him in the door. And they're paying a guy who is a self-proclaimed football doctor to come in and oversee transfer strategy at Celtic. What about Eddie and Ayer? Heard stuff about them. That's all fine, but it's not the Celtic way. I mean, we've spoken about this before. Bringing Ayer back, you're not going to get a massive sell-on clause from him. Bringing Eddie back, you're not going to get a massive sell-on clause. If we do go down that road, all we're doing, and Brendan Rodgers, it was interesting listening to Neil Lennon on the Cy Tierney's podcast Open Goal, and he talking about the youth system and the younger players that are coming through. If Brendan Rodgers goes out, and I'm going to say this, if Brendan Rodgers starts bringing in more ex-players like Ayer, like Musa, whatever, if we start bringing in more ex-players, it tells me that Brendan Rodgers isn't happy with the way that the development squad's going, it's not happy with the way the B-team squad's going, and that there's something completely wrong within that department. And it also comes down to the financial side of Celtic also. And if he brings in those type of players to come back and save his arse, I'm going to say it as it is, if he brings in that type of player to come in and save his arse for a couple of seasons, especially going into his Brendan Rodgers' potential last season, he's not staying for the long term, and he's not thinking about the future of the club. He's thinking short-termism to try and win a treble and be remembered forever as the man who got us a record amount of trebles. It's Cy Ferry, not Tierney. I know. I don't know why I said Tierney. I was looking at an article with Kieran Tierney there, and how he's been text messaging some Celtic players. Cy Ferry, you're right. Mon the Fifer's bad, says DJ Singy's in the house. How are you, mate? Not heard from you for a while. Des. Marvin Shivered looked superb as on YouTube, and then he was honking. There's quite a lot of players look great on YouTube, and then they're honking. A bit like my nasal passages tonight with this fucking weather. Anyway, I'm just catching up on this Tierney story. That's an interesting one. I know that some of you have banged on about Tierney playing at centre back, but I see that a few other pundits, if you can call them that, I've got to sneeze again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's a couple of other pundits talking about Kieran Tierney potentially playing at left centre back. I don't think that's his best position, but maybe Brendan Rodgers has said, you're maybe getting on a bit, son, you're slowing down a bit, we could put you at centre back and you could extend your career. It takes everything that's good about Kieran Tierney away from us, to be fair. And one player that has left Celtic has been getting a lot of news, a lot of page space. You can tell it's a really slow week when Scott Bain is getting some press time. Scott Bain, who left Celtic for pastures new, even though he had 12 months left on his contract, had fallen out of the picture. Obviously, he's got Sinisalo in front of him. He's got Kasper Schmeichel. And he says that he went to Brendan Rodgers and said, I want my son to see me playing football. We've heard about this before. It's not a new story. He came out with this. I mean, this is when you know it's a slow news week. When you've got the mainstream media talking about a story that was spoken about over a week ago. The big thing for him is that his fiancée, a little boy, potentially have the chance to come and watch him play football. It's a little bit of a different experience for him for the last couple of years. It was a big factor in him going to Falkirk to work under the manager and the staff. We'll see how long he can get a run at the club. He only made 78 appearances. 78 appearances and winning 14 major honours, including 7 league titles, a quadruple, a treble, 4 league cups and 3 Scottish cups. Hold my pint. 78 appearances for Celtic, and he's got 14 medals, badges sitting in his wardrobe. You can't make it up. I'm still laughing I read that, honestly. Here is Scott Bain, the legend. He is a legend, isn't he? I mean, you think of the players that come to Celtic and get chased at the door for being absolutely chronic, and Scott Bain's just sat there and just went, fine by me. I'm a winner. Sell Coon and Palmer balance the books and add to the kitty. We don't need to balance the books. And this is the bizarre thing. We're sitting around about 70, 80, 90 million, 100 million pounds in the bank. Whereas Ben Doak, he's at Sunderland, is he not? Oh, he's back at Liverpool now, but I think he was on loan at Sunderland, I think. If Dyson goes, we're left with Adam Ida as our main striker. A nightmare not worth talking about, says Danny Boy. It doesn't matter if Ben Doak left anyway. No one wants Palmer. He's nobody's child. He's nobody's child. He is somebody's child, and he's more than likely loved in his home nation. It is complete radio silence for Celtic, which is nuts, and there's nothing even online on the lands of Twitter. No speculation at all. Just see this. Just checking. Nope. I tell you, man, there's Wolves signing players for 19 million. A player from Celta Vigo, 21-year-old, and we're complaining about the 11 million spent on Arne Engels. The thing is that there's a lot of transfer business going on, but I don't know why Celtic I don't know why Celtic aren't just getting a move on with stuff. I mean, according to news over the last couple of weeks, the last week, is we've already had players in and had their medicals. But it's not been announced with Celtic. We had a good transfer the transfer news last week. It's like the sunshine in Scotland. There's massive. It's only a few days of it, and then it stops till the end of the month, the last minute. Yeah, I think Celtic will. The closer that we get to the players returning to Lennoxtown at the end of this week, the beginning of this week, beginning of next week, I think that's when Celtic will start getting the business done. Hunter now saying that Americans stitched them up. Oh jeez. Joseph says, Baz, Palmer couldn't trust the CCV must be sold. CCV? Jesus. Why are you shouting, Joseph? Stop typing capital letters. Keep the money, new players coming in for money, but it won't last if the board muck it up. I'm not complaining if we want to progress as a club in Europe, if we do well in Europe, splashing 10 million shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be, Lanky, and this is when you see the transfers of so-called lesser clubs that are actually happening at this moment. Do you know, so-called lesser clubs down in England that are managing to get deals done, and deals done early? It makes you think that. I mean, what is the issue with Celtic? Oh, one of the funniest things ever. The Tottenham chairman has said, look, it was hard to sack Postecoglou. He was brought here to win the English Premier League and the Champions League. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What a delusional guy, eh? Huh. But I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is true. But Ange Postecoglou is taking a 6 months break from football. He's set to join Talk Sport. I don't believe that shit. I didn't rate this guy either. What? That's a load of nonsense, that story. I tell you, there's some absolute howling stuff written on the land of Twitter sometimes, isn't there? Anyway, let's jump into the comment section and Croatia, Russian, Poland. Brendan may be on holiday, but I'm sure his mobile phone is blown up. Ian Roy, I don't think it's blown up. I think he's got it on silent and just went, fuck it. Fuck it. Lying on that sunbed, getting that all over. I wonder if he wears Speedos or if he's a shorts guy. Or if he just sits in his private villa, stark bollock naked. Back as next season for a big angle. Not a chance. I still love glue. What are Celtic doing? They're always doing? Let's poke Lowell in the nose. Yeah, he's got it on don't disturb mode. I think so as well. I think he's grabbed his phone and he's went. Now the last time this went during the summer, it was that fucker Desmond. It's like, I want peace and quiet. Boof. Maybe Ryan 118 can go and give him a wee poke since he's in Mallorca. Square sausage back. It's just, do you know what I mean? It's just part for the course over here. Dolce and Cabana. Defo Speedos. Yeah, I know. Definitely think that Brendan Rodgers will turn Benji into our missing link as a striker. You think so? Lobwell's nothing to do with transfers, says Paul. Yeah, I know, but his sidekick does. And the problem that we have with Nicholson compared to Peter Lawwell is that Peter Lawwell would make decisions on his own. That's where Michael Nicholson gets the Tarmac Ryan 118 in his Man United top. He does not wear a Man United top. Jesus God. I'm saying nothing. The guy has a good channel, but if that's his choice of tops, it'll be his Gucci belt, just his Gucci belt. Ian Roy, it wouldn't matter if I got a tissue. It's my sinuses and it's hay fever. It's just a friggin' nightmare. Piriton's not even solving the issue. So yeah. Missing link. Why is Mick a square sausage? No idea. Lawwell still is beady-eyed on his transfers for sure. Bain was a leech, says Lark Winder. Bain was a leech. It wasn't really. He was paid to do a job, and he just sat about and did his job, didn't it? He's a trunks guy. Michelle, you did not. You just googled Brendan Rodgers beach. I'm going to have to do that. You can tell it's him. Brendan Rodgers day at the beach. That's fucking no Brendan Rodgers. There's a picture of him there. That was a Liverpool. That's a few years ago. I can't believe you just made me Google that. What kind of sick individual are you? Let's put Celtic in front of it. You'll not go to the public beaches anyway. Right, we'll move on from that swiftly. I'm still wearing my primary. Jesus. Brown Warrior, that's not right. Michelle, you're just terrible. Yeah, I got told he was in Santa Ponsa because I know people that are in Santa Ponsa. Taylor to Copenhagen, Celtic v Copenhagen in the Champions League qualifier. Martin, that's pretty spot on actually. I think we will get Copenhagen, and it'll be something else if Copenhagen put us out of the Champions League and Greg Taylor scores a goal. We aren't signing anyone because Sevco keep beating us to their signatures according to the Scottish Hunt Media. Have they signed anyone? Paradise Found, this is the first year since I was a kid that I've had hay fever and I just cannot shake it. So it's weird. It's because the weather's just absolutely bonkers here just now. James Forrest should start more games next season. Should he? Because then if he starts more games, the £6 million that we're going to spend on 2 wingers is going to be a waste of money. A waste of money. But it is what it is, isn't it, at Celtic? Let me just see this. Just been sent a message. Just talking about centre back. Talking about the Japanese centre back. So that's that. Anyway, let's get some more Harry Darling. Yang needs to get punted. Yeah, Jamesy boy, I'm with you with that one. Needs to get punted because he can't get his Nat King Cole off enough. Yes, new face painter. They've got a new face painter. Yeah, Des, I think it's next Monday we'll be back at Celtic Park. No, at Lennoxtown. Because if we've got the game on Friday the 4th, the players will start coming back next week so that they've got all their fitness tests and everything done. Because every player on the squad goes through fitness tests when they come back the first couple of days. So the staff kind of stagger them coming back, and then Brendan Rodgers will want at least Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on the training pitch with the players, and then a wee bounce game on the Friday just to see where they're at. But ideally, with that being said, if we've got the game on the 4th, Brendan Rodgers will want the players in for the squad. If there is to be changes, he would potentially want them coming in from next week, the 23rd. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Celtic are going to try and control the narrative of the media for the week of the 23rd going forward. But then you know what Celtic are like. It could come to this Friday and they'll announce players on Friday so that we kind of steal the press for the weekend and then drip feed them the rest of the following week. Like he says, don't sell either, just get wingers in that can actually put in crosses to the box for him. Yeah, exactly. Look at the Aston Villa way they got service and 2 goals. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't sell Adam Ida anyway. I think that Adam Ida's he's got big potential for me. Big potential. Dan Cassie says he's waiting for wee Forrest to get back to fitness. Red Scotland says, interesting you make the connection between your respiratory conditions and the weather. For the chemtrails being dropped. Well, it's not the chemtrails at this time because we could see Red Scotland, we could see the chemtrails when they happen, and they've not happened for a while. The first round qualification for the Champions League tonight, is it? I heard that Ange is going to AIK Athens. Have you? Because that's not what's getting said online about him. It's not what's getting said online. Pretty mad actually. Anyway, who cares? Who cares? Because he's came and gone. Let me just check this out. There's a new headline. It's nothing. It's a nothing story. Nothing story. Notification just came through. Give me 2 seconds. No. Nothing to do with Celtics. All quiet on the Western Front. Bold Adam, of course, big fella, blah blah blah. As Kaiser says, the 25-26 UEFA Champions League qualifying phase playoff round will begin on the 8th of July. and end of the 25th of August. What are you talking about? It starts tonight then. It's ages away yet. Well, it is the 8th of July. It's only fucking June. Jesus Christ. Right, anyway, I'm done and dusted for the night. Hopefully Celtic will maybe let us have a little bit of hope tomorrow that they're going to bring in some players. Another rebuild. I don't think it's another rebuild. It's going to be a summer of big changes. Ryan 118 is a Man U fan. Says like a lot going on. Is he? It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Brown Warrior, I wish I was. Because I'd probably be able to breathe a lot easier. Why is it taking so long to conclude? And why is it taking so long to conclude all the medicals that we've done? We've seemingly done the deal for Ross Dohan. We've done the deal for the 21-year-old that's coming for Fulham. We've done the deal for the two wingers. And we've done the deal, and we're waiting on the medical for the defender. So that's about 5 players that we're supposedly about to bring in. But who knows? Who knows? No idea. Seen me Ryan with Man United on Tierney's live. Well, fair play to him. You'll never get me with another team's top on, that's for sure. That's for sure. Anyway, on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans all around the world. From a fan, not a media man. Talk to you later, Danny. Yeah, I'll catch up later.